I can never understand why, after you pay your cable bill, it seems that all the services out there, from Comcast to AT&T to Spectrum, Cablevision, you name it, that do everything now, literally everything, from cable to streaming to internet to phone to cell phone service. I can never understand. Why, after you pay your bill, all of a sudden you get a bit of an outage. Like suddenly there's a maintenance update, or suddenly there's no service whatsoever for a little bit. And then all of a sudden it comes back on. After a few minutes, an hour, a couple hours. I can never understand whether or not that's just them sending a message of, hey, we appreciate you, updating your bill with your payment, but we require you to always keep on top of that, or else we will make this permanent. I can't understand if that's a message they're sending or it's just coincidence. I understand that we just went through an atmospheric winter storm here over the weekend, and that did probably contribute a little bit to, the outages happening around, all of Stanislaus County and San Joaquin County. I get that. When you look on the news, and I'm trying to find the right words to say here as I do this, without any script or bullet points. If you look on the news, there are reports that, there's down power lines, tilted if not down power line poles, and so on, that need to be fixed. And sometimes when they have PG&E or whatever service goes out there, MID, TID, go out there and, fix it, sometimes, yes, they have to disrupt, certain other services to do so. But you'd think those services would let you know in advance, hey, this is about to happen, we do apologize. Now, I'm not saying they don't do that, but it seems that most of the time, if you were to do like a percentage, balance, if you will, kind of balance it from a percentage standpoint, you'd basically be looking at, I would say, 75-25, 75% to 25%, but that 75% being in favor of, doing these outages, these maintenance updates without giving you a heads up. And the reason I bring this up is because, yesterday I noticed that my modem had a red light on it. And I looked this up, and it's the second time this has ever happened. And they said the red light is for a few reasons. Either it's overheating, there's some kind of loose wire or loose circuitry or something, or there's an outage. And the last time I dealt with a red light, like I did yesterday on my modem, it was because of an outage, but I wasn't affected. I wasn't affected till later on, though, because as I was kind of resting, taking a nap, if you will, my mom wakes me up and tells me that she wants to shut her computer down because she's done for the night because she's working on her kids for preschool. And what happens is that, apparently, part of the page, that she wants to go back to is gone. And I'm trying to help her. I'm just barely waking up, but I'm awake enough. But I am awake enough, not fully awake like I am now. But I was just awake barely enough to notice, as I was trying to help her out, to finally notice that, oh, wait a minute, there's that, yellow triangle with the exclamation point in it, telling me, oh, by the way, you have no service. So I go to check my room, because like I said, I was just barely awake, awake enough, not fully, to help out. And I noticed that the modem was flashing orange. It was flashing orange, and that usually means an outage. That's right. It usually means an outage. And I wasn't thrilled about that. Neither was my mom. But yeah, that's usually what it was. Oh, usually what it means, an outage. And I thought, okay, maybe it's not a total outage all over the place. I'll just unplug it, see what happens. I unplugged it, plugged it back in after 30 seconds, and still it was an out, and still it blinked orange, basically indicating an outage. Now, like I said, I don't know if maybe they were doing maintenance or something, or they were basically fixing something. I don't know what was going on. but it didn't really help, in any manner, shape, or form. And my mom, being tired already as it is, working all day, coming back, relaxing a little bit, getting some coffee in her, then going on her laptop to work on her kids, this really didn't help in the long run. It really didn't, because, she requires the internet to go on what's known as the Learning Genie to work on her kids, because that's what, that's the site that her school is connected to. But she has to go on the Learning Genie to essentially work on her kids, to basically, get them updated, for the parent-teacher conferences they got to do. And it's like, you would think that these companies, Comcast, Xfinity, AT&T, Verizon, Spectrum, Cablevision, you name it, you think that they would be more aware of the fact that, certain people, even past midnight, would be working, because there are people that work. There are people that work even past midnight. Now, I understand people would say, well, you have those mobile hotspot devices you could use that you can connect, to the service with your phone. That way you're not offline. And that's true. That is true. But, here's the thing. They may not cost much, but I don't know, honestly, I know a lot about technology, but I don't know how to set that up as easy. So, I have to look that up if I was to do something like that. But still, my mom is very old school. She's not very tech savvy when it comes to today's technology. She's very old school. And honestly, if she had her way, she wouldn't be going online to the Learning Genie site to do this, to update everything for her kids. She wouldn't be doing that. Instead, what she'd be doing is she'd be basically taking the papers she'd be given from her site and going home and basically putting them together like that, basically writing down, marking and all that, doing the old school way. And honestly, I think that's what a lot of, schools, preschools, Head Starts, elementary, junior high, whatever you want to call them, I think that's what they need to do for these teachers that are, a little old school in the mindset. Let them do it the way they know how to do it, the way that benefits them better, the way that they grew up on, and go from there. You basically should just say, hey, is there anybody that's not tech savvy, that's kind of old school? Okay, you can do it paper-wise. And there you go. But, nobody thinks of that. Nobody thinks of that. And we get issues like this. We get issues like this to where if they got to go home and use their computer to work on these kids, that all of a sudden the internet or the power could go out, and that's not good. That's not good. So again, I just wish, these companies would give us a heads up. I mean, put out a notification on the laptop if they have to, or send an email out that, shows up as a notification on your laptop saying, hey, attention here, we're going to shut down the internet and all that, for a while because of maintenance, because of update, and because we got to check the wirings, make sure there's no damage because of the storm. Something like that. Do something like that. That way people understand, I'm going to have to get off in a little bit because, they're going to do maintenance. Give us a heads up. Give us a heads up. I mean, now, like I said earlier, I think I said this earlier, they do that at times. They do that at times. But like I said, if you were to, kind of compare it balance-wise, percentage-wise, 75% of the time they don't. 75% of the time they just say, yeah, we're going to just shut down your internet and your TV and your cable. Your TV and cable is the same, But yeah, we're going to shut down your internet. We're going to shut down your phone, your TV cable, and we're just going to do that for a couple of hours without letting you know. But we will let you know right as it's happening. It's like, are you serious? Are you serious? And to me, I think sometimes these companies, they're just doing this because they want you to get a more expensive package. A more expensive package. And this is why people go down that cutting the cord, direction, because they're like, well, I don't want to deal with cable anymore if it's going to be, cable in its packages, if it's going to cost this much. But but you know what's funny though? That's where things get interesting. That's where things get interesting. Because cutting the cord may not be the solution if you're going to end up with something like what we dealt with last night, internet being taken out. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you might say, well, that's where phone services come in. That's true, and everybody on their phone has that, or their tablet has that, has that two-screen option, basically, where you could take what you're watching on your phone or your tablet and transfer it over to your TV. They do have that option. So I'm not denying there aren't ways to watch entertainment, but if you're more used to using your internet than your phone service, like your 5Gs from T-Mobile and Straight Talk and Verizon and AT&T and even Comcast, if you're more, adjusted to using the internet, via Ethernet or Wi-Fi to watch your stuff, then you're going to be up shit creek, if you know what I mean. Excuse my language, God. But you're going to be up that creek because, okay, internet just went down the toilet, for a bit. And look, there are, and again, this is an argument to where physical media comes in because, hey, physical media, is there to save the day. But like I said, getting back to what I talked about, this is why people are cutting the cord, because they don't want to deal with this kind of stuff, not just price-wise, but because of the updates. But even if you keep the internet service, that's still not going to be salvageable. Even if you have to rely on your phone service after that, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. So what I'm hoping for, what I'm asking for, is for these companies to get off the butts and just let us know in advance, hey, this is upcoming atmospheric storm or this kind of weather pattern that's going to come in and affect things. There's a good chance that even if you don't get affected, we might have to shut down your internet and your cable and your phone for a bit to check for outages and stuff like that. But to me, it's... but to me, outside of that, it's just ridiculous that these companies decide, hey, we're going to shut down your internet and your cable and your phone, even if you paid and all that, because we want to send a message that if you don't want to deal with this for real, pay it in full next time, or hey, well, it's just a coincidence that we did this, to check on outages and everything. It's like, I just don't understand. I just don't get what the thought process is when it comes to these companies. Because again, you would think they would understand that people, like right now it's 10:30 in the morning, Pacifically. You think they would realize that people 12 hours from now, at 10:30 at night, if not 12 hours from now, at 12:30 at night, whether they work the next day or not, sometimes have to be on the computer to do their job, to get things done. When it comes to their job. You think they would understand that, but they don't. They don't. And this is why they need to stop shooting themselves in the foot and basically put out a notification down the line somehow via email or text and let people know, hey, we're going to be doing an outage real soon. We're going to do an outage in a little while or on this date and everything for maintenance or to check for damages because of a storm. Just letting you know. Or, hey, we're going to be doing this because we're going to replace the old cable, the old wire with some more fiber wire that's going to help out, just let us know in advance. So that way we get off the internet, we get off the computer or the laptop, and we go out and we go and do something else. Just let us know. Let us know in advance next time. That's all anybody is asking for. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I know I kind of sound like I rambled here a bit on the issue, but let me know if you've dealt with this before where it's that in a seemingly ironic way you pay the bill, but all of a sudden your cable, internet, and phone go out, but then it comes back on. And do you think from your experience is a message being sent, or do you think it's just coincidence? Let me know. Let me know when you've dealt with this kind of stuff before. And if ever. And until next time, I'll talk to y'all later.